So this is my Danny Masterson and Bijou Phillips story. And with all these horrific details that are coming out about this trial, this one crazy night I had in Hollywood is all making sense. And this had baffled me for years. Like, I had no clue. And it was one of the wildest nights I've ever had in Hollywood. So this is how it went down. So the year was like 2005. It's a long, long time ago. And me and my girlfriend are at Club Hyde, which, if you know, you know. It was one of the hot spots in Hollywood. Super fun. And we were invited to go back to Danny's house for an after party. So it's like 2 a.m. These guys drove us over there. Again, I was in my early 20s, not very smart. But we go over to Danny's house. And when we walk in, there's probably about 7 guys there, 1 other female, and Danny and Bijou. And Bijou does not exactly look impressed when we walk in the door. From the moment we walk in, she was kind of like, oh God. So, I try to make the best of it. I'm super friendly. I go up to her, say hi, and I'm like, hi, I'm Kelly. And she just turns her face like she was not having it. And I'm like, okay, no problem. So the drinks start flowing and we sit down to play some poker. And I love poker and I'm super competitive. And Danny is directly across from me at the table. Bijou is next to him, and a couple of the guys are joining us, and my friend Erica is sitting right next to me. And we're drinking our drinks. I'm really into this game. I threw down, and we're playing some poker. Danny is dealing. And within probably 30 minutes of being there, my friend Erica starts slurring her words, like, ugh, and I'm like, oh my God, girl, lock it up. Get it together. Like, what is wrong? And she's kind of swaying back and forth in her seat, and I'm kind of like, hey, you all right? And she's like, yeah, I'm fine. I'm going to go to the bathroom. So Erica kind of excuses herself from the table, and she walks down towards the bathroom, towards the back. And at this point, I'm kind of looking across to Bijou, who is just sitting across the table, just like not having it. And I'm like, she'll be right back. So we're kind of sitting there, and the vibe is definitely changing amongst this little after party. And without saying anything, no words, no nothing, Danny stands up and he walks to the back too. And I'm like thinking to myself, man, this is so awkward. We're definitely overstaying our welcome right now. Like, this is like, ugh, I feel so like weird, so uncomfortable. And not to mention, everyone cleared the table except for me and Bijou, who's sitting right across from me, just staring me down. And I'm just like, so crazy weather we're having, right? Like, I'm just like grasping at straws to like not make things uncomfortable. So she is just staring. It's just me and her, and she is just staring me down. And I'm like, I better go check on my friend. So I get up and I walk down. I can see Danny kind of standing with his arm up above my friend. And my friend is like leaning against the wall, like holding herself up, all her body weight against this wall. And he's like up above her, like talking to her, looking down, like super kind of aggressively. And I'm like, oh, I bet he's not happy that like a drunk girl is at his house. So I go over and I grab her very quickly. And I'm like, oh, sorry, excuse us. So I start kind of dragging Erica, and I notice that she is completely on top of me. Like, she can't hold her weight whatsoever. And I drag her back to the table. I sit her down. And again, Bijou is just like still sitting there at the table. I run and grab her some water, bring her some water back. All of a sudden, Danny kind of comes and sits down. People are kind of coming back to the table to play. And Bijou loses her mind. Like, the rage and anger that comes out of her was something I've never seen. She's just like, get out of here! What the fuck? Like, just like, I mean, it was nuts. And I'm like, no problem. I'm trying to de-escalate it. Like, we're leaving. Excuse us. Don't worry. We are already on our way out. I'm sorry. Please forgive us. So I pick up my friend and I'm like, come on, we're leaving. Let's go. I pick her up, and as I stand up, Bijou stands up super aggressively and just like, I want you out. What are you doing here? What? Like, I mean, it is just like screams, yell, anger, curse words, like just everywhere. And I'm like, okay. So I'm like grabbing my friend and I'm trying to like drag her out. And my friend is just like wobbling, and like, I've never seen her. And I'm like, oh my God. So I'm like trying to pull her out. And the thing that she murmurs to me was, I forgot my purse. And I'm like, oh my God. And again, now Bijou is following behind us now at this point as I'm trying to exit towards the front door. And I'm like, okay, she forgot her purse. Like, well, so sorry. And she's just like, get out of here. I want you out of here. like, just like, oh, just, I mean, it's just screaming. And like, not to mention, Bijou's like this, like, you little girl. And like, I mean, I'm a pretty strong girl. My friend is like 5'10", like, and this little like chihuahua, it felt like was just like, like just like at us. And I'm just like, okay, we just need the purse. We're leaving. I'm leaving. Please, like, give us space. So we grip my friend's purse. We get out there, and I'm like dragging her out. We get outside, and I sit my friend down on the curb, like on these like little steps of his house. And we're sitting there. And again, this is 2005. There's no Uber. Okay. So back then I had a BlackBerry where I had to go through different taxi companies to dispatch to other drivers to come get us. And of course they're like, what address are you at? And I'm like, Hollywood Hills. Like, I don't know where I'm at. Like, my friend is just like passed out. I'm like, oh my God, like, this is so horrible. And it's like starting to get cold, and it's like 3, 4 in the morning at this point. And I'm calling different taxi companies, and we're like sitting there. And about 20 minutes later, Danny and Bijou come outside, not knowing that we are still sitting there waiting for a taxi. And I can hear her screaming at Danny, like, I know what you're doing. You think I'm stupid. You think I don't know. And at the time, I'm like, what does she think was happening? Like, we were just trying to play poker and just go to the bathroom. Like, what? Like, what did we do wrong? And she's going on and on about, like, you think I don't know. You think I don't know. And so this made me realize that I think even back then, she kind of knew. And I bet you there's more out there that probably have seen this. She did not seem surprised whatsoever about something that was happening. And I'm just like sitting there like, oh my God, like, this is awful. I'm like trying to tell my friend, like, don't talk. Like, I don't want her to see us, but I can hear this full blown rage fight that they're having outside of their house. And I'm just like, oh my God. Eventually they went back inside, and it is now like 5 in the morning. I keep calling, my phone dies. We are sitting there out on this curb, huddled up together because we're so cold. And probably around 6:20ish, a taxi drives by, and I go running out, just like, here. And this taxi stops, and we got in, and we were finally able to get home. Now, the next kind of hours, I get my friend into bed. She wakes up. She's like, I don't know what happened. My head is like killing me. Like, this is wild. I'm so embarrassed. I don't know why. And I'm like telling her, like, yo, like, they were like screaming and yelling, like, this was really bad. Like, I don't know what happened either. And like, as these details are unfolding from these victims, I kind of am almost grateful that Bijou did blow up on us. Like, I think that maybe in some way she got us out of that house, and maybe that was the best route. Even though the night was terrible and we sat on the curb till 6:30 in the morning, it was wild, and now it's all just making sense.